What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now, don't judge the video and audio. I'll be back home from this wedding in a couple days, back in the normal studio, but the content continues. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about what I'm doing within this market. As of course, I've been seeing your comments and I like to answer them, especially on Saturdays, just kind of letting you know my moves and what I'm thinking about the market. Okay, so a lot of you recently have commented or messaged me or DM me or text me, whatever, and you kind of asked me my thoughts and opinions on whether or not I think it's a good time to be buying crypto. Just very general, very basic, and a good question, a question I don't particularly like as much anymore, which I'll explain in a second, but not a bad question. Now, the primary reason as to why the majority of you have asked me that question is as a result of what we saw in crypto this week. Now, of course, we saw this week that the Ethereum ETF approval was approved. And of course, as a result of that, many things like Ethereum and major altcoins saw a beautiful run, pushing 10, 15, 20, 30%, depending on how big they were. And of course, that was beautiful. Now, in those moments and instances, of course, it is not uncommon for people to kind of come out of nowhere and start, hey, should I buy crypto right now? I know Ethereum's at $3,700. Is it a good time to buy and all this stuff? But let me kind of address two different points, and then I'll actually show you some of the things that I am buying towards the middle end of this video. Now, point number one. If you only buy crypto when it feels good, you are going to consistently lose. Okay. Like if you saw the Ethereum approval and then you're like, oh, now it's time to buy, realistically, you're setting yourself up for failure. Now, if you do go watch some of my previous videos, you can see that I was actually buying Ethereum in that lowest 3,000 range because I was like, I don't know why the whales are selling right now, but I do like the fact that we are, down 20, 30%. So I'm going to start buying. I just randomly was buying some Ethereum and then its price took off as a result of the approval. I had no idea that approval was coming, but I just bought some, and now that buy has done very well, and so in those situations like that, I think that it's important that you understand that you should be trying to buy the most in the red times, in the bad times, because if you're just buying in good times, your gains are limited. Simple as that. Now, I know it's more emotional and it's harder on the brain to buy in the red times, but at the end of the day, you got to overcome that. Look, we're all grown-ups here. You need to be able to handle your emotions. Simple as that. I feel like sometimes I cater towards people. I'm like, oh, I know you're emotional. Hey, we're all adults. We're all grown-ups. You got to manage your emotions. Don't do stupid shit just because you're anxious about it. You know what I mean? And so because of that, that's the first thing. Don't come out of the woodworks once it gets green. You need to be around in the bad times too. That's the best time to buy. Now, the second thing, people are starting to generalize again. And I understand because at one given point, the market was moving in tandem. Now, let me break that down a little bit. What I mean by that is people are starting to generalize in the sense that they're saying, hey, should I buy crypto in general? Should I go buy some more dollar cost averages in my whole portfolio? And I understand why they think that, because through a lot of the bear market, realistically, crypto is moving in tandem with each other. Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, ADA, XRP, Matic, whatever. They were all kind of moving with each other. And so if one went down, the rest went down. If one was going to pump, the rest are going to pump. And people still have it in their mind that Bitcoin moves the whole market, right? People still have it in their mind that if Bitcoin goes up, the market goes up. And they've not come to realize that that's not always true. We enter into these moments within the cycle in which things separate a little bit. They don't move exactly the same anymore. And so as a result of that, certain things will be good moments to buy and certain things won't really be in good moments to buy. And you need to start to get a little bit more kind of in tuned and invested within your knowledge of each individual thing that you own, rather than just generalizing your entire portfolio, because that's how you truly optimize your gains, right? That's how you truly optimize your performance, is by being able to say, okay, it's a good time to buy Bitcoin, not a good time to buy alts, good time to buy Solana, time to take profits on Ethereum, maybe go long on Bitcoin, right? Having that approach, I know it takes a little bit more time, energy, and effort, but it is generally the better way to generally make better gains, right? And so I just wanted to address those 2 points before I kind of talk about exactly what I'm doing and some other stuff here. So hopefully you do understand, right? Hopefully you do understand that perspective. Now, in terms of what I personally am doing, not doing a ton. So looking at something like Bitcoin, you guys know in the video I made this morning, I'm not really interested in buying any Bitcoin right now because we are now within a pretty important range. So I'm kind of waiting this thing out. Looking at Ethereum, I'm definitely not buying any Ethereum right now. We're sitting currently right at the top side of this 618 to 786 bucks. As you can see, I was Pablo Picasso on this thing earlier today. But yeah, definitely not doing much buying on Ethereum. I was, just doing some buying down here. And so buying up here just doesn't really make much sense to me. We're still sitting towards the top of that Fibonacci zone, and at any given point, it could retrace to the downside. We've seen historically times in which this big news, like an ETF approval, will actually cause an eventual pullback that then leads to a pull to the upside. And so because of that, again, I'm not sure what Ethereum's going to do, but I'm not really confident in buying right now. I will say if it does break 3,800, I think that we should see a move to the upside, but I'm not going to go ahead and bet on that by buying it. And so I'm just kind of leaving it alone. You guys saw that Solana I'm doing a little bit of buying at each one of these major support levels that we're reaching down towards the downside. But even those aren't very big buys, just kind of keeping it casual, keeping it gradual, not doing too much. And that's the general consensus across the majority of the top 10, the top 15. I can't think if there's any other ones that I would be doing any buying on. Pretty much all of them fit within the same shoe here. I'm either doing a little bit of buying or really no buying at all. And so realistically, I don't see much of a point of even addressing it, to be honest. I'm just not doing much right now. But I think it does go to show you that what I was speaking about earlier in the video, which I said, you can't associate them all together, is that, Bitcoin, I'm not really buying right now, right? Ethereum, I'm not really buying right now, but Solana, I am buying a little bit. And you can see the differences in their price. Solana's prices pulled back to support levels. Bitcoin prices bounce off of support levels, and Ethereum is still sitting at resistance levels. So they're not moving in tandem right now. And so that's why you need to hyper focus in on some of these each individual cryptos. I think that's the better approach. And that generally is how you're going to be able to, again, maximize your gains. Now, so again, that's top 5, top 10, top 15, really not too much going on there. Now, outside of that, I have recently picked up another crypto, one that I thought was interesting. They actually reached out to me to partner up with them. So I thought that it was a pretty cool opportunity to bring them here to the channel. Our partnership actually involves some other things as well, but this is more just focused towards the YouTube channel. And I wanted to talk a little bit about a company named Andromeda. And I'm only going to take a quick second. I actually plan on making a full video for them pretty soon here, talking a little bit more in depth, but I at least wanted to introduce them because I did recently add them to my bag. And since we're talking about what I'm buying, I figured it would be a good time to bring them here to the channel. So what you can see here is that Andromeda is on the search to create the first decentralized on-chain operating system. Now, to summarize how this is going to work, Andromeda is an all-on-chain and multi-chain suite of products, tools, and utilities enabled by a decentralized operating system that they call AOS, or the Andromeda operating system. They say that AOS is where, of course, Web3 starts. Now, what's cool about that, in my opinion, is that they have a token as well that is considered basically an index token. Now, the index token is called the ANDR token, and they say that it is a multi-utility token, which will be used as the medium of exchange between participants on the Andromeda OS in a decentralized manner. The token is used in 2 domains. It secures the Andromeda blockchain, and it powers the AOS. Most of the anticipated utility value of ANDR is a function of the wide deployment and usage of the AOS on many different blockchains. Now, what's cool about that is that the ANDR token, as I mentioned before, is considered an index token, which basically tracks the value of the prices and other projects, chains, cryptos, etc., and then kind of accumulates those different prices into one, which would then be reflected in its own price. And so it's kind of a cool way in which they can inject a token, a native token of the ecosystem, which should be expanding crazily because they're going to have so many different integrations, but at the same time, not have all of the volatility that typically comes with the native token. And so it's a cool balance and a cool mixture of utility on top of stability, which should allow a lot more people to feel comfortable with the token. And then in turn, the AOS itself. That's my thesis. That's my thoughts. And that's the reason why I did go ahead and buy it. Now, what's cool about this is that they say that the Andromeda blockchain is not essential to the deployment and the use of the AOS across blockchains. And so this is actually something that is not centralized to the degree of utility and actually can be spread out across multiple different areas and elements. And I think that also provides people with some level of comfort, although I do think that the actual blockchain itself is what a lot of people are looking forward to, especially if they're investing into the ANDR token. And so overall, I think that this is an absolutely amazing idea. What they're trying to do is create something that is so much just different within the world of crypto, but something that is somewhat common within the world of this web too, right? The general world, which are operating systems. And I've not really seen those two things combined into one successfully yet. And so that's why I'm really looking forward to what they're going to bring to the table to see if they're actually capable of pulling it off to the degree in which they say they are. And then how the index token, the ANDR token, the native token of the ecosystem will do as a result. And so as a result of that, guys, I thought that that was a cool thing to add to the portfolio, a cool thing that I could bring here to the channel. And I thought it would be a great addition to the video. So let me know down in the comments below what you think about the ANDR token and the Andromeda operating system in which they're creating. Again, I do have a full video coming for them very soon here. So with that in mind, guys, outside of that, I can't really think if there's anything else that I am doing. Obviously, I bought a little bit of my meme coins, right? My Alan the Alien, my Pingu. Not too much going on there with those guys either at this point. And so with that in mind, I think that's going to be about it for today's video. I just wanted to address those two things in the very beginning, show you a little bit behind the scenes of what I was doing, mention Andromeda, and I think that would be a good stop to the video here. So of course, I hope you guys did enjoy. Of course, listen, if you did, you can always let me know easily and simply by smashing the like button on this video and subscribing to the channel if you are new and tuning into the next video if you did enjoy this one. But I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic weekend, and I can't wait to see you all soon. Peace out, everybody.